Okay guys, hello, welcome to our live stream. We're back, Danny.
Yeah, well, it's actually our second of the day.
Yeah, it's the second of the day, but
it's
for
live
you guys,
stream day.
it's the first time that you see us again.
Yeah.
So welcome. Today we're going to talk about the assignments. We're going to give you some theory about logo design. And we're going to explain what we will do during this block.
Yay.
So let's start. Yes, here we are.
Well, as you might remember, my name is Danny and this is Marloes.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone.
And well, we have a new system today. You can ask your questions through the the YouTube chat.
Yes.
And then it will appear here below in the blue bar. And then we will see your comments, your complaints, your compliments if you would like, and also your questions. And then every now and then we will answer a couple if you have any. But we'll try to explain as clearly as possible.
Yes, so this year we're doing things a bit different. As you can see on the background, tools is now visual communication, but the channel is still tools for dummies because you guys will still use the tools to create designs. Why did we choose a different name?
Well, first of all, because the course is getting more and more important. And that means that for the first time you will get a real grade for this course, not only a pass or a fail. So actually the work that you do will be valuable, well, a lot more than it was before, because if you now get a 9 or a 10, then it will actually be seen as a 9 or a 10 and not as a pass.
Yes, so that's one thing that's
one great
way
thing.
better. Another thing is if we take a look at our schedule.
Let's
if
show
we
them
move
the
on
schedule.
to the PowerPoint.
That's also new.
Yeah, so now for every block, so also for the next block, we're starting with a live stream. And we're doing this because we don't want to throw everything away we did during the Corona period. So we start off with a live stream with the explanation of the assignment and some theory you can use to create those assignments. We are doing this because then we have more time in class to just get to work and practice with the tools you need to fulfill the assignment.
Yeah, and actually it's also to give you a choice to which workshop you would like to attend in week 3, 4 or 5. Well, in this scheme you will see that week 3 is a beginner's level workshop and 4 and 5 are medium and advanced. For 2.1 that's not the case. These workshops are actually a continuation of the things that we talk about today. But for other blocks in which you will use maybe
After Effects.
Yeah, After Effects. After Effects is a typical thing. Maybe you already have some ervaring?
Experience.
Experience, yes, sorry. Maybe you already have some experience with that, and then you can choose to skip the beginner level tutorials
and go to advanced.
Workshop, and just come to the medium or the advanced level. So we have a splitting between the several levels of skill.
Yeah, so we have 3 different workshops. So right now in this live stream we give you theory about the logo design. In the first workshop you're going to sketch a logo design to have a fun exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end of the workshop you'll have a sketch of your own logo design. Then in the second workshop we're going to transform it into a digital design.
Yeah, in Illustrator?
Yeah, in Illustrator. So we're going to work again with Illustrator. As you used it to make an infographic, but it's also very, very handy to create a logo design in Illustrator. So that's what we're going to do the third workshop or the second workshop. In the third workshop we're going to make a combination of how you can make a combination of the logo and your corporate identity products. So as you can see in the visual right here, this is the actual assignment which you're going to hand in. So you're going to create a corporate design for your communication agency, because for the project you will form together with your project group one agency. And individual, you create a mock-up looking like this.
Yeah, it's a very fun assignment. I think, well, if we take a look at the student guide, I can show you a bigger picture of this. Then you will see what it will end up look like. Well, also very handy to just take a look at. We know that
people
a lot
don't
of you
read
no,
student
they
guides.
don't read student guides. That's why we built this up from the ground up again, and gave it a much more frequently asked questions structure. So all of the most important questions that you asked us in the past couple of years are assembled in this student guide.
Yeah, so how does
So
the
the
book
first
look
part,
like?
yeah, how does it work? You can see the scheme again. Also the steps to install and download Creative Cloud, because you will be working with Illustrator again, and in the next block After Effects. Yeah, a thing about questions. Is there something you don't understand? Please take your questions to the workshops or the walk-in hours in week 6 or 7, because then we will be able to help you, because especially with
technical
programs,
questions,
technical
yeah.
questions about the apps like After Effects is very difficult to explain by email. So we ask you kindly to keep your questions for the workshops, and then we will see you there.
Yeah, one thing about the installation of the Adobe Creative Cloud. I know we have one exchange class together with Dutch students from CO. Of course, if you want to involve in a program, I should really advise to buy the cloud for the coming year. But it's not verplicht.
Not mandatory?
No, it's not mandatory. So for the exchange students, we, I would love to see you working in Adobe programs, because you can learn from it a lot, but it's not mandatory to buy one. But we together on Tuesdays, you have me as a teacher, so I will explain some more things about that. So the only thing left to say is for the classes that you are scheduled together with another class. Only the exchange students have one class, the other ones are scheduled together with 2 teachers. So that's also something different you have to keep in mind.
So you can imagine that the Media Lab can be quite full, and so that's also why it's smart to make a choice of one of the workshops that fit your skill level in the upcoming blocks.
Yeah, so this is about Adobe Creative Cloud. You can just read it and follow every step, and then you can renew your account.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 2 questions about that that we certainly get a lot. I think that's the only question that I didn't place into this guide. Yeah, if you get the message that you logged in and you see that all your
Sorry.
Bless you. You see that all of your apps are trial versions again. Then there's, well, in 9 out of 10 times there's only 2 possibilities. One, you logged in with the wrong account. So please be sure that the account that you logged in with, that is the same account on which you registered your subscription to Adobe Creative Cloud. And the second option is that you are logging in with the right account, but you chose school or professional account, because it's a choice that you can make. So school or professional or personal account. And you always have to choose personal account, even if your subscription is on your Hans email address. And then after that, you will see that it will work perfectly fine.
Yes. Okay, continue in the student guide.
Yeah, let's go to the
Workshops.
overview of the workshops. So in chapter 2 you will see what the workshops will be about, and this is what Marloes just told you. So workshop 3 is the logo design workshop. That's a continuation of what we tell you today.
Yeah.
Exercise, fun exercise, in which we practice sketching logos. Then at the end of the lesson you will have your first draw of it, and you can make it in a digital version in week 4's workshop. If you already know how to do that, of course, then you can skip the week 4 workshop. So this is for the people who don't yet know how to work with tools like the pen tool, because we will practice and explain it in that workshop.
Yeah, and in the last workshop we're going to talk about the mock-up. So you're going to create a mock-up of your corporate identity.
Let me see if I can... Yeah, that's the next chapter, the corporate identity mock-up, because that's what you will be making in the end.
So it's not that you just place your logo on a t-shirt and you're done. No. What we want you guys to do is, because for the logo design you've choose different kind of colors, different kind of shapes, and in this example you can all see a variation in colors and shapes on different products.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the top left. You will see some paperwork on which the design has been applied. So it's not only the Wally logo with this magnifier. Yeah. magnifier. They use the round shape of it to make the designs for these papers and these envelopes and such kinds of things. And they also made use of the colors in the logo to color the products. So the background uses the same dark blue as the magnifier blue, and things like this stripe and these circles make use of the orange.
Yeah.
So that's
so
also
this is actually made by a student. So this is great work. It looks very professional.
Really great work. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of. We will give you this actual file, right?
Yeah, we will give you the file to work in. But of course, you can also make your own file or use a different mock-up for that. So you don't have to create the billboard, for example. You can just fill it in with your own corporate identity. So you can pick the colors, the shapes, etc. So you don't actually have to make the products. Yeah,
I think what we do is remove the colors and the Wally logo from every product, and then you will end up with just the empty products on which you can apply your own colors and logo.
So you need a minimum of 8 products to showcase. Mm-hmm. So as you can see at the papers on the left side, so that's not 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's 1 unit.
Yeah, this is just one product. So the papers with the envelopes. Yeah. So that's one product. Of course, a shirt is one product, and things like, well, the paperwork over here should be counted as one product as well, because these are just small products on which you can apply a design.
Yes.
And otherwise you would be done very quickly.
So you will be graded on this mock-up. So the layouts, the colors you've chosen, your Illustrator skills, of course. But what is also new is that for every assignment you have conditional assignments, and that is in this case a WordPress website. So you will create this mock-up individually. In the end, you will decide with your project group which design fits your organization best. So you pick one corporate identity, and then you're going to create the website together with your group. So that's a group assignment.
Yeah, and I think the final, well, we are recording a new tutorial for that, a new Tools for Dummies tutorial, so you can take those steps and install WordPress and know how to apply a theme, because we've also chosen a nice, beautiful theme for you to install, and then you can apply the corporate identity colors and the logo to that style, so the website will fit with the designs that you have over here. So it's one nice, coherent whole. Yeah. And of course, in short, in the last workshop, we will help you where you got stuck with your WordPress.
Mm-hmm. What do we have? Yeah, this is the WordPress. This is the assignment explains.
So a link to the new tutorial will be included in here as well once it's recorded. Yeah. And then something about the grading. Also important to know, this is what we talked about, the conditional requirement, the WordPress website. So once you have past these 7 steps, you can put a P in here, and then you can go down and take a look at the requirements for your corporate identity. So it consists out of a couple of things. The first is the logo, so 25 points for the logo, the accuracy, so how nicely you've worked within Illustrator, the layout, color and types that you used, and of course the mock-up as well. Well, just take a look at it. You will see different kinds of, how do you say? Well, the words that we use over here, hoe heet het die dingen nou? De woorden die we gebruiken,
requirements?
Ja, die dingetjes.
Bullets.
Yeah, the bullets. Ah, sorry.
We just did a live stream in Dutch, so
yeah,
it's kind of different to switch.
It's difficult to switch to English now, but you will see all these kinds of words like pathfinder, shape builder, elements, colors, no unwanted connotations, and words like
symbolic or descriptive.
Yeah, symbolic and descriptive, and the large and the small scale. Those apply to the theory that we will give you in a moment today.
Okay, then we still have the deadline, I think. Yes, deadlines. Ba-da-boom.
Yeah, so you can cut this out.
You can't miss it in the student guide.
Paste it above your toilet, and then every
on the
time
calendar.
You will see that on Friday, 5 November, you need to hand something in.
Yes.
Well, of course, Marloes won't be at her computer at
I do.
Oh, she will. She will be awake, so she will keep an eye on whether you've handed it in.
Yeah, so this is a pretty doable deadline. You have 6 weeks or even 5 weeks to finish this, and I'm already looking forward to see all of the different kind of designs.
Yeah, it's a really fun exercise.
Yeah, so you're going to hand it in on Blackboard. We need the logo in an Illustrator file, and we need the mock-up in a PDF.
Yeah, that's what you will find over here.
Yeah.
So how do I hand it in, and where do I hand it in?
Yeah, and for the rest, I think all the information about the assignment you can find on Blackboard.
Under the visual communication course.
So it's now part of project, not part of skills. So look for visual communication. And if you have any questions during this live stream, please say so in the chat. But I don't think there are questions already, Maurice. No, Maurice is No. Okay.
Okay, let's take a small preview. Let's take a look at the small preview of the workshops. New this year, from this year on, are the so-called workshop exercise cards.
Yes.
And an exercise cards look like this. This is the exercise card for the first 2 workshops, in which we will build the logo. So it consists out of a couple of steps. And in the workshops, we will take these steps and guide you through the process of creating a logo.
Yeah.
So that's quite fun.
Yeah, so this one is for the first workshop. We have one for the second one as well. To practice in Illustrator, we are going to create a pizza slice logo design, which is pretty fun. But it uses all different kind of techniques and tools. So it gives you a little bit of a fresh up of Illustrator again. This is not what we're all going to do like in the second workshop, but this is only a part of it. And you can also find this workshop of those exercise cards on Blackboard.
Yeah, so that's how it will look like in the upcoming weeks. But first, you need to know everything about logo design, the backgrounds of logos, the meaning of them, how to choose the right colors and fonts.
Yes.
And it's a really fun lesson. So let me switch to my other PowerPoint, and then let's take a look at the theory behind some very famous logos. This should be it.
Yes. Here we go.
The building blocks of a logo. Well, logos are all around you. Take a look at your shoes, at your shirt that you're
your
wearing
Starbucks
right now.
coffee.
Yeah, your Starbucks coffee, or any product that you have in your cupboards to make a dinner tonight, and you will see a logo of the company that made it. A lot of them are very recognizable, and if you have a good logo, then you will even be able to recognize the logo even without seeing the name or the actual design, which we will show you in a while. But let's start with one of the most famous logos in the world, and very, very successful companies there are. And that's this thingy, and it's called a
Swoosh.
A swoosh. And maybe you can already drop in the chat, what do you think this swoosh stands for? What does it mean? Or what do you think it means? And then, while you're doing that, we will explain the Nike logo a bit more, because this is not the entire logo, this is only the
graphic mark.
The graphic mark,
yeah.
as it is called. Because most logos consist out of a word mark, which has the name of the company in a certain kind of font, and a graphic mark that is actually the image that belongs to it as well, and then together they form the logo.
Yeah. Most of the time you have a combination, but sometimes you only have word mark logos like H&M,
IKEA,
HEMA, very Dutch.
Yeah, very Dutch HEMA.
Yeah.
And or some, as you will see in a while, some companies choose to leave out their word mark on purpose, because their graphic mark says everything.
Yeah, like Apple, like our laptops.
Right choice, says Tom 2. Oh, you mean that you think the swoosh stands for the right choice that you can make?
Yeah. Oh, that's very creative.
Oh, like
a check mark.
A check mark,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny. I didn't
It
think
looks
about
like
that.
that, yeah.
It looks a bit like a check mark.
But maybe some of you know the history of this logo.
Yeah, because there's a lot more to that. And it's very well to look it up, so, so maybe some of you already did, and then you could put it in the chat as well. It's a good story, actually.
Yeah, it's actually made by an American student in the 70s.
Yeah, 1971.
Yeah, 1971.
Here is her name on screen, Carolyn Davidson. Carolyn.
And she only received $35 for this logo design. This is, like, mind is blown.
Yeah, it was so cheap, but yeah, Phil Knight, the man behind Nike, was looking for someone who would like to create a logo for his new sports company called Nike. And she was the one who said yes, because he talked to her on some kind of party, I think.
Yeah.
And she made it in, within 2 days. $35, and then he got $1 million company. So if you want to get rich.
But afterwards she got like stocks of the company and a party and a golden ring with the swoosh on it. Does anyone already know what it stands for? Something to do with movement or speed, I guess. Yeah, that's a very good guess.
That's a very good guess, yeah.
Yes,
Nike
that's it. Is the goddess of victory in Greek mythology.
Okay, let me go to Google then, so we can look it up for everyone.
Yeah, and now you'll finally know how to pronounce Nike correctly, because some of them, especially in the Netherlands, say Nike, but it is Nike, because it's, Nike, the goddess of victory.
And here you see already, you can already, the designer got $500.
Oh, then our sources doesn't.
Oh, because I actually read, I put in the link is not, I had a Dutch version of this PowerPoint as well, and it had the complete story behind the Nike logo. And that's where, in that story, it was told that she got only $35 for it. But maybe several stories go around. Can I get my Google screen?
Yes, there
because
it is.
Now you can see the goddess of victory, Nike, and then now you can also see what the swoosh stands for, because it's actually one of the wings of the goddess. It has the same shape, but more stylistic, of course.
Yeah, so it's very fun to know some of the history of logo designs and what it stands for, because most of the time all logos have some kind of meaning behind the word or graphic mark. Nice shoe.
Very nice shoe. The fun thing and what's very handy about the Nike logo, if you take the whole logo into account, is that it's so versatilely usable. If we can take a look at these pairs of shoes, you can see that. There was some more remarks.
Oh, more remarks. Yeah, the logo symbolized the wing of the Greek goddess of victory in Nike. Yes, completely right.
Yeah, that's great. Maybe $35 and $71.
Yes,
today.
that's correct.
The inflation.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, so you can see that, on the side of this Air Max model, they only use the swoosh. On this shoe, they only use their word mark. And in this shoe, they use the whole logo. So they have several choices of how to apply their logo to the product. So it's very good to have a word mark and a graphic mark.
So also for your mock-up and your logo design, you can use the word mark on some of the products, and on some of the products the graphic mark, or both together.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to another logo, and that's what I was talking about when I said that some companies choose to deliberately leave their word mark as is, because in the past Apple had the word Apple below the apple, but this graphic mark it just stands on its own now. They don't even need to use the name Apple anymore to make clear what company this is about. If we take a look at the history of Apple's logo, then we can see that it changed every couple of years. But the actual shape stays the same, except for 1976, when Apple was founded.
Again, the 70s.
Again, the 70s. Yeah, it was a very great year for computer companies.
Maybe some of you know what it stands for, the logo, and why they changed it already after 1 or 2 years. Because you can, why is it this logo not working on the back of your phone?
It should be very funny to have this on the back of my phone.
It would be really old school. Maybe you can make like a phone case with on the background.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, you can maybe there's already a phone case with probably the old Apple logo.
So who is this guy with on the background the apple tree? You probably know this guy.
This is business. No one has made it.
Oh my god.
Oh, here it is. Oh, this could actually be, it could be a case, but this, it's very stylish, actually.
His screen, Maurice?
Yeah.
It's very stylish.
So this is actually a phone case with the old Apple logo.
So does anybody already know who is this guy? Newton. Yes, Trevor. It's Isaac Newton. And the story is that when he was sitting against the apple tree, the apple fell on his head and he discovered gravity. So that's one of the stories.
The second story is that in 1971, everyone got these phone books in their mailbox. You just, if you needed a computer company or something else, you took the phone book and you called up the company. And Atari was another computer company back then, and they were already on the list all the way on top of the list because their name started with an A. So Apple wanted, before Apple was called Apple, they wanted a name that was above Atari in the phone book, and the P comes before the T, so that was why Apple was, one of the most logical names to choose. So that's another story about this company.
Yes, but after like 2 years and even 1 year, they already hired a designer, and because this logo has just too much details to be recognizable, so they thought, away with Isaac Newton, and we just continue with the apple.
Yeah, and that's the logo as it is today. But they started with this rainbow design. Why is it a rainbow? Well, because the first computer that they used this on had a color screen.
Yes.
And the different story is that Steve Jobs
was a big hippie.
was a big hippie, and that these rainbow colors apply to that as well. Well, then after that, you can see that the logo had a redesign throughout the years. So here's a more bluish glass-like, then back to this black stylish thing. Then they had this silver. And why is that? Well, because Apple made several products, and as you can see...
Can you imagine that some of the students are born in 2000?
I know, and they don't even know what this thing is. The big screen. Well, not a flat screen,
No,
but it has this tube.
This was so popular back in the days. I always wanted one, but it was too expensive, of course.
I actually worked at an. Well, no, I didn't work because I was at school then, and I had this internship at the local broadcasting over here, Oog, and they actually got one of these things for the very first time. And I didn't know what I saw, because then what they did before was having these tapes, actually. So they edited videos by copying over scenes from one tape to the other. And then that's how you made an edit. But on the computer, you could actually load in all the materials and then edit a video like you do today. So it was a very big step forward.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It was so great to work on this thing with iMovie. But that's another story.
Yeah,
it's fun story. But as you can see, these products, they have this translucent colors. And that's also what they did with... the book of Steve Jobs. It says he ate that we only apples that week.
That's also fun.
Yeah. I think that the logo was first designed without the bite. It's only there for scale, actually, because it would otherwise look like a cherry.
Yeah, or a tomato. I've heard that story as well. I've read that as well.
Yes, thank you. We really appreciate you completing this story.
Yeah, the leaf above the apple fits in the gap of the side. Yeah.
Also great.
Yeah. And also, like, the Macintosh is also a sort of apple, right?
The Macintosh is... yeah, the Macintosh is an apple... yeah, a kind of apple.
A kind of apple, yeah.
How do you...
Like we have now, we have L-Star, we have...
Yeah, L-Star and the Granny Smith.
The Granny Smith, yeah.
This very sour apple. So the Macintosh is also an apple. And... well, you can... Oh, okay, back to the story about the logo. The logo has this translucent color because the products have it as well. And also with this funny iBook, the predecessor of the MacBook.
It looks now like a children's laptop, like with the children games.
Yeah, it looks like a toy.
It looks like a toy, yeah.
And then after that, they got more serious, and you got these products. So the logo got a bit more gray, and it fits the aluminum design body. So that's how they do it. And today we, of course, have these machines, and it fits to the flat design logo as it is today again. Okay, let's do a little test.
Yeah, because these are all wordmark logos, but because they're so famous, their wordmark is their graphic mark as well. So some of them are combined, some of them only have like a wordmark. So we're curious if you can recognize the brands of these logos.
And I think you will be able to guess them all.
Yeah, some of them are a bit harder, some of them are very easy.
But it's fun, very recognizable. And if you can manage to do it like this, then you're really great at logo design.
Yeah, because making a simple logo looks very easy, but it's so hard.
It's so hard.
It's
I
so
can't
difficult.
even draw the Nike logo myself.
No.
Yeah, to get that curve actually right is very difficult.
Do you already have some comments or not? No.
No. Yeah, but it takes about 30 seconds delay.
Put on some music though.
Okay.
Some waiting music while you think about the logos that you see over here.
Like the delay is bigger than the first live stream.
Like a minute. It's a good moment to
Or they're just
drink
scrolling.
something.
Yeah, or no one is responding.
Mm.
Can also be.
Well, if that's the case, then we might give away a couple of the logos.
Yeah, because the easiest ones are the one on top, I think. You have YouTube, you have
Yeah.
Skype.
YouTube, Skype, huh? Levi's,
Yeah.
eBay,
IKEA.
IKEA, Amazon, Orange, FedEx.
Does Orange still exist?
Orange does exist, but we don't have it as a separate phone company anymore.
No. Okay.
Not in the Netherlands.
Not in the Netherlands.
It's was Orange? Was that Orange?
I think it's
Is it?
German or something, right?
In
I thought it was
Or
French.
in France, it's still
French,
yeah.
yeah.
It's French.
we have some comments.
Oh, we have it.
Okay, YouTube, Skype, IKEA,
Oh, that's everything.
Microsoft, Samsung, Lego, the North Face, Intel, Subway, Amazon,
Yeah.
lots more.
You're great. Well, you get the idea, right? So Nivea, Microsoft,
So
Subway,
there's
actually, yeah.
Airbnb,
Lego.
Converse, Intel, FedEx.
The North Face, Yahoo, Durex,
Yes, the most of people don't recognize the Durex logo.
Dell, I think this was.
Yeah,
Dell. B&B,
Airbnb.
Airbnb, Samsung, Converse. I don't know what this was. I always forget this one. The
yeah,
one
we
with
still, yeah.
the 3 black dots and the heart. If anyone knows what that
Orange
is.
is GBL. Oh yeah, GBL.
Oh, okay.
That's true. Yeah.
Really? But
GBL has rounded edges.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
GBL is rounded edges.
it is orange because the amount of dots say how many letters there are in the name. So it's ORANGE. So it is orange. Amazon and Hewlett Packard, I thought.
Yeah.
Well, the trick here is that you can recognize these logos. You can recognize them even without seeing the actual name in them. And that's because these logos are so well designed that they are instantly recognizable.
Yeah, Tia is saying, I'm wondering where can I find the AE template of the corporate identity. It's not on Blackboard yet, but in the coming week we will upload it, so you can already work ahead if you want to.
Yeah, it will be there.
How do they choose what to use? Yes, that's a good one.
How do they choose what to use? How do you mean? Or did you understand this immediately?
Yeah, I think what kind of colors and what kind of shapes maybe.
Yeah, I guess so. It was during that part, so it's
Yeah.
a good question already.
Okay, yeah. Well, there are a lot of reasons for things to choose. We have a couple of examples in a while
Yeah.
with logos with history behind them, because some of the shapes that you see in a logo actually have a meaning behind them, a history, a reason why they use that.
And another thing is logo designs are tested on so many people, so they actually know what works and what doesn't work. So there are a lot of agencies that only are testing designs on people and customers to test if something is working or not.
Yeah, this is also this is always what you see here is a final version of many iterations that they have.
Yeah.
The old Nike logo also looks a bit different than it is today. So yeah, it changes. They
Throughout
have
the
different
years, yeah.
iterations before they come to this
I
final
think the
version.
one with the heart is New York.
I love New York. Oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're
yeah.
right.
Now we finally know.
I
lesson
remember that
every time.
someone else said it as well. I love New York. Yeah. But to come back to that question, we now have a couple of things that you can use to make your logo.
Yeah.
Starting with the colors. You can see that these logos have all kinds of colors. Well, there's a meaning behind that. There are reasons to choose certain kind of colors and also reasons to not choose certain kind of colors. Because let's take a look at this little color blindness test.
Yeah, it says that 8 to 10% of the men is colorblind and only 1% of the females. And most of the people who are colorblind have difficulties distinguish the color green and red. So we don't say if you don't recognize the numbers in these circles that you're colorblind.
Yeah. It could also be a bad quality in stream or compression, but most people that aren't colorblind are perfectly fine to see what numbers are in these circles. But you can also see that even for the ones who can recognize the numbers, it's very difficult to see them. So what we want to say with this is, if you choose your colors very carefully.
Yeah.
Make sure that there's enough contrast behind foreground and background, so the two colors will not blend into each other, and it's not clear to the viewer what this is.
Yeah, because the number one priority of a logo design is that you can read it, that you can recognize what the logo stands for, that you can read the text.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you saw anything else than 12, 2, 42, 74, and 6,
I think you have a problem.
you have a problem. Next sheet. No. The meaning behind colors.
Yeah, so that's another thing. So the first of all, your readability have to be clear, so in the color use. Another thing, this scheme is not complete, let's be clear. But you can see that different kind of colors have different kind of connotations. And a connotation, you also talked about it in block 1.3, is the feeling you have by looking at a color. For example, we use a lot in traffic signs and that kind of, in signs we can see a lot of red. So stop, be careful. And in the opposite you can see blue. The most popular color for logo design is blue, because it's just like calm, trustworthy, and also the Belastingdienst, so the biggest tax. How do you say that in English? The Belastingdienst.
Yeah, it's the taxing.
Yeah.
I don't know, tax collecting.
Tax collecting biggest, where you have to
Instance.
pay a lot of euros monthly. They have also like blue envelopes, because if the envelope was red, it was way more like.
But I'm actually curious what colors the tax envelopes have in
Other countries.
in other countries.
Yeah.
Maybe you know.
Yeah, so, and especially when you want to produce a product or a service, and you want to bring it into the world, so into Europe or into other countries of the world, you can see that colors have different meaning as well. So pink in Western countries in general says caring, girls, woman, love, but in Japan it means boys.
Mm-hmm.
And even in Europe, some colors have different kind of meaning. So if you can see, the sun stands for sun, warmth, happiness. But in France, it stands for jealousness and weakness and betray. And in Germany as well. So be very careful with what kind of colors you use and what the meanings are. You don't want to have a logo with a lot of negative connotations.
Yeah, companies take this into account as well when designing products and when designing their logos.
Yeah, because if you see the Hanse orange, if you take a look at this scheme, it doesn't have any negative connotation worldwide. So you see fun, creative, curious, fortune, love, good health.
Only in Egypt, morning.
Only in Egypt, yeah. But in most countries, orange has like a positive connotation. So that's one of the things why the Hanse choose orange.
Mm-hmm. And because it stands for creativity, curious,
Yes.
experience new things. That's what Hanse also stands for.
Do we already have some comments about the Texas envelopes?
Yeah. Did anyone know? We are so curious. Well, it doesn't.
Every day when I come home, I'm frightened if there's a.
Just say me, lol, I'm
I'm
colorblind.
colorblind. Okay. So the meaning of color is one, but another one is contrast.
Yeah, I just mentioned it before with the colorblindness test. If you take a look at these robots in their circles, then you can immediately see which color combinations work and which color combinations don't work. The complementary colors, they actually are really great to have. So that's if you have a color wheel and then one color is on the opposite of the other, those have real good contrast. You can use a tool like Adobe Color for it. If you Google Adobe Color, you will end up on the website, and you can make nice color schemes with it, thanks to the tool. And
yeah, so complementary colors, for example, orange and blue.
Yeah, orange and blue.
Yellow and purple.
Yeah, they fit really well together. But the colors that are close to each other, like the ones you see in the rows over here, well, they make it very difficult to see what is actually in the circle. So try to prevent using those kind of combinations if you have something on the fore and the background.
So this sounds very logical, but we still see a lot of students that using colors in the same color palette or using a light gray background.
Yeah, oh yeah, actually, especially the light gray background is very bad for contrast because anything that you put on there is very hard to make out. So don't be afraid to just use white as your background. It is not boring. It is actually very nice because you can see that all the colors that you see over here have a nice contrast with the white background. So this is a good choice. See, so the white robot works very well with the dark purple color.
Yeah, and if you have a darker background for your logo design, you can easily use white for the text, for example.
Yeah.
So we have meaning of color, we have contrast. So let's move on to fonts.
Yeah, because this is applied to the graphic mark. Yeah. But if we work on the word mark, and you also have to choose a name for your agency, you're going to make a choice out of the great amounts of fonts that we have. And it's very difficult because there are so many.
If you open same as with colors.
Yeah, same as with colors. If you open up your Creative Cloud app, in the menu on the left, you can actually see a link to Adobe Fonts, and there's a lot of them. And it's also always nice to have a good amount of fonts on your computer, so you have choice. Well, more choice than you have within Microsoft Word, for instance. But when starting to choose what kind of font you would like to use, you can first start by making a choice out of these two. So the sans serif on top and the serif on bottom. So what are the serifs? Well, those are the little
hooks.
Yeah,
like the creative parts of the end of the letter.
Yeah, the thingies that you see here highlighted in red. So they give a more classical look to a letter. Yeah. And well, there were many studies on this. None of them is really conclusive, but sans serifs tend to work better on screen, and the serif fonts work better on paper. So that's why you see that newspapers and books actually are printed a lot in serif fonts. So that's the first choice that you can make. Take a look at these two products. Fonts and product design is also applied to certain kinds of target groups.
Yeah.
So Axe is a typical male product, and Dove a female product. And you can see it in several things.
Yeah.
If you take a look at this product.
If you take a look at Axe, Axe, right?
Yeah, Axe, the Axe bottle.
First of all, the color is black. And I don't know if you go to the Kruidvat in the Netherlands or the DA or some other, how do you call it in English again? Like pharmacy shops, that kind of things.
The pharmacies.
You can see that like the block of shower gels for men are completely dark gray and dark blue. And then if you take a look at the female part of the rack, it's only rounded, pink colors, white colors. So it's a big cliche, but it works in marketing.
It's marketing, yeah. They think about these things, they test it out, it works. You can also see it in the shapes of these bottles. So the manly shape is worked into this. Yeah, there's a grip, there's more, less rounded colors. Yeah. So everything from the female body is worked into this bottle. And you can also see it in the logos of these two products. So the male axe is more has more sharp colors. It's a bit wider.
Broad, yeah.
It's a tough font. This could even be seen as a guy standing up and
do some powerlifting.
do some powerlifting. While everything about the Dove logo is very soft, and it has rounded edges, and it has this
Like a golden logo.
yeah, the golden dove in the logo. So it has a very different feeling to it.
Yeah. And also for your own communication agency, just think about your target group. Who do I want to reach? Do I want to reach a woman? Do I want to reach male people? Do I want to reach children, young people? So that's all, take that into account when you're creating your word mark and your graphic mark as well, of course.
Little game again. Now that you know this, which one of these cars is targeted at women and which of these cars is targeted at men?
And why?
And why?
Which one is more expensive? You also know that.
Oh, that's actually difficult to say because I think they fall into the same price
range.
I think, yeah. But I could be wrong. I don't know enough about the Giulia and the Giulietta.
Giulia and Giulietta. Is it just me, or each one is looking the gender they directed at? Yes, that's not
Yeah,
just
I think you're still talking about these bottles. So
yeah,
you
that's
actually
completely right.
Yeah. That's what we said. So this actually has more of a manly shape, and this is a more female shape as well.
Because all females are round.
Well, we do have a couple of well.
So they do this with cars. They do this with all different kind of products. No one knows?
Well, I think the
Or you
delay
mean
is just
big delay.
huge.
I timed my delay is 13 seconds, so
Oh, 13.
Oh, that's not a lot.
Oh,
Giulietta for women.
yes.
Okay, and why? Why do you think that is? Why would the Giulietta be for women and the Giulia for men? Well, of course, you're free to choose. Malu's
I
actually
prefer the left one, the Giulia.
But you're right. The Giulietta is targeted to women. You could also see that in the commercials for these cars.
Yeah,
In the
PNC,
Giulietta,
Giulia
actually,
for
a woman drives this car.
But both is unisex.
Yeah.
that's
Both is
completely
unisex.
true.
You're free to choose, of course. But but they do have a booth. Oh, both is unisex.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
again, you can see it in the shapes of the font. This actually the Giulia font looks a lot like the Axe font. It's a bit wider. It has these capitals. The Giulietta font is more stylistic. A bit more handwritten, as you could say.
But even in the cars, because you can see the headlights of the car is at the Giulietta is way more round than the Giulia one. It's more fast. It's fast.
The car
looking.
itself
It's also round.
is.
Yeah.
It's also with the Fiat 500, the Cinquecento. I actually drive one, but it's but I just but I because I really like that car. It's a really fun car to drive, but the standard 500 model is actually targeted at women as well.
Yeah. So it's very funny.
I know that in the UK, a lot of girls get a Fiat 500 for their birthday.
Oh my
Or
god.
yeah, really.
I'm going
And
to
they
move to the
they hang it full of these accessories that I think, why would you?
all those pink dices and stuff. Yeah.
You have a lot of YouTube videos about that.
Yeah, so this is the way you can use your font. So you can choose for a more rounded font. If you want to be more friendly, you can have like a more tough looking font with sharp edges. That's up to you, and it's up to you what you would like to stand for yeah.
Hmm? Okay, then let's take one.
Yeah, Julia looks
more
angrier. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. It's like, "Arr, I'm gonna eat you alive. I'm so fast."
That's what the car says. Yeah, would say
Yeah.
if it could talk. Let's take a look at well, a collection of logos. Some international brands, some Dutch, typical Dutch brands.
Yeah, but almost all of them have a meaning behind their logo. So most of them are combined, so they have a word mark and a graphic mark.
Mm-hmm.
If you, for example, take a look at Philips, they return to their old logo design. Does anybody know what it stands for? Because you can see like the a wave with some stars, it's blue. Previously they had a way different logo, right?
Well, actually, no, the logo didn't change. The logo has always been this throughout the years, but they had a period in which they didn't use the complete logo, but only their
their word mark.
Only their word
Yeah,
mark.
true.
And now they're back using the whole logo again. Well, while you are thinking about the meaning behind the Philips logo, let me explain the Unilever logo. Because I really like the Unilever logo because Unilever is a company. Well, actually, Axe and Dove are Unilever brands. And they make all these kinds of products. Well, they started with a butter. Well, it's not really butter, but margarine, as they call it over here.
Fake butter.
Yeah, fake butter. It tastes like butter.
So put on your bread, so it's more soft.
Yeah. It's Blue Band. That's
Blue
the brand. They actually sold all these brands, but you can see the Dove. The Dove in here. You can see an ice cream because Ola is also a Unilever brand. They sold Iglo, but Iglo was their deep.
Yeah, fish sticks and that kind of stuff, and spinach.
Yeah,
It's all
frozen
in
food.
Frozen food.
Frozen
yeah.
food and fishy and all these. Everything Unilever stands for is united into this big Q.
Yeah, Tom is saying Philips logo is yin and yang. No. But it's a really creative way of thinking.
Yeah.
Symbolized a washing machine, right? Yeah, a lot of people think it's a washing machine, but it's not. That's really funny.
Yeah, it's and I do understand why, because you see these waves and the round thing, so it could be a washing machine. But
yeah.
hey, the funny thing is Philips
Doesn't sell any. Yeah, maybe
maybe
now.
they did in the past, but I don't see Philips washing machines.
No.
Nowadays.
On the mind says the stars probably have something to do with light, electricity.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
True.
it. That's it. Because Philips was a lighting company.
The Philips logo has something to do with pioneering.
Pioneering?
Yeah, kind of. But what does the wave stand for? It's the same. Yeah.
We could tell them.
Yeah, we could tell them.
It's the radio waves. Philips, they also sell all these electronics, and these are the radio waves, because they, besides a lighting company, they also sold radios, and that's what.
That was the first best-selling product.
Yeah, and they are also the inventors of the cassette tape and the CD, and they all Dutch inventions.
But
They did make washing machines, by the way.
oh, in the past
Yeah,
they did
yeah.
make washing machines, but I think they don't anymore.
Maybe we saw something when we went to the kringloop.
Yeah. Well, you see some other logos as well. Netflix is one of my favorite logo designs because it's so simple, but it's so, it's just great. It looks like when you're in a cinema, it has like the color of those cinemas chairs.
Yeah, and also the whiteness of the screen. It has this.
When I see
curve
this
in
logo,
it.
it's immediately like the beginning tune of Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great.
But Disney, of course, that's just the handwriting of Walt Disney, but then in a bit more stylistic way. But this was actually his handwriting. And if you take a look at Intertoys or Kids Week, brands targeted at children, then you get these more playful logos. And something like a TV radio station here, Veronica, they have this company history in it because they were a broadcaster that weren't actually allowed to broadcast over here. So they went on a ship outside of the Dutch territories, and then they sent their radio programs to the Dutch mainland. And
Yeah.
that's why they have this blue color and
A wave,
the
yeah.
wave of the sea in their logo.
Yeah, and again, you see a lot of blue logo designs, so it's very popular to use the color blue.
Yeah.
One of my favorite stories are the story of the Lacoste logo. Danny is wearing a Lacoste t-shirt, especially for this
today.
live stream. But the story is that Mr. Lacoste was a famous tennis player, and he was playing a match against a friend of him, and they played. The prize was a suitcase made of crocodile leather. And every time he went on a match or a world tourney, they brought his suitcase made of crocodile. So later on, when he stopped, his nickname was already Mr. Crocodile. And he found out, I'm going to do this clothing brand with tennis wear. So I want to have a crocodile on it because that's my nickname.
That's a good story, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of meaning behind that little crocodile.
Mm-hmm. Which is very funny. But even again, the Lacoste logo without the word mark is also very obvious that it's
you
about
never
Lacoste.
see a shirt with
Lacoste.
and the crocodile
No.
and Lacoste name on it. They
Never.
just use this. They actually had a range of these clothes with instead of the crocodile, all kinds of animals that were on the edge of extinction.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was a very cool idea, but they got very angry comments on that.
Oh.
Because they said, well, you're not a sustainable clothing company,
Oh,
so why
again,
do you
yeah,
use
okay.
that?
Okay.
But yeah, again.
Okay, so we have a good logo design contains a word mark, a graphic mark, or both. So you can make a combination, and if you make a combination, you can play around with the products. So that's very nice to do.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about color, so every color has a different meaning. We talked about contrast, so you have to keep in mind that it has a big contrast and that the readability is high. Then we talked about fonts, so you have fonts with serifs and without. So you can choose up to you what you find suitable for your agency. And every logo design has a symbolic meaning or descriptive meaning. So you should also think about that. What does my brand stand for? Now, golden rules for logo design. We have 4 tips for you guys, and you need these tips for the next workshop, because in the workshop we're going to play around with sketches. So we give you some advice.
Yeah. The first advice when designing a logo is to keep it simple. Think back of Apple's first logo design. It's a very difficult logo to have. Well, besides it takes a lot of time to draw something like that.
Yeah.
It cannot be used at rule 2, a large or a small scale, because it's very difficult to make out what it is if you would, resize it back to something small like this sauce container. So that's why the McDonald's logo, while maybe not very simple to design, it doesn't have many details in it. That's what it's all
Yeah,
about.
so it's better to recognize.
Don't bring too much detail in your logo, like tiny thingies that you can't see when it's on a small scale.
And a simple logo is not simple to make. No. The third one is logo should be effective in color and black and white.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start making your concepts of your logo, also keep in mind that you make a black and white logo, because when you see these 2 logos of Instagram, they keep the same meaning. It doesn't change anything. It's still the same icon. And sometimes when you have too many colors in there, or a lot of contrast in those colors, it doesn't mean the same in black and white. So always make your concepts in color and black and white.
And then the last thing.
Yeah, logos can be descriptive and or symbolic. So we talked about Philips, we talked about Lacoste.
Yeah, there's a whole story behind those logos.
Yeah, so that's a descriptive logo. And as you can see at the logos on the left, this was a logo when Obama was running for president. So it symbolized a new horizon, hope, sunrise with the colors of the American flag.
Mhm.
So it is very symbolic. And then when Trump was running for president, they turned around the logo, which was pretty funny. A journalist did that. So it's not actually the real logo of the
No.
Trump campaign.
But this was a very, very strong joke, yeah.
Yeah. So that is very symbolic, but you also have descriptive logos, as you can see in Burger King. So this is a word mark and a graphic mark in one. And it shows what their best-selling product is. So if you have, for example, a coffee company, then you can do something with a coffee bean, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah, that's the most important thing about. Well, the Burger King logo actually is so integrated, the word mark and the graphic mark, that you cannot use them separately.
No.
Because if you would take away the Burger King word, then you would end up with an empty burger. The Burger King name is actually the burger within the patties.
Yeah. So it's also very great logo design, I think.
Yeah, it is. Well,
very
Burger King
playful.
never uses this the one without the other.
No. So that is our advice. So 4 tips for a good logo design. And in the workshop we will continue working on logo designs, and you have the opportunity to test your logo, because testing is also very, very important. And if you guys have any other questions, then you can just place it in the chat, so we have some time to answer them. Can or must?
Yeah, you can. Can or must? Can or must? Can or must what?
The rules.
You can. No, you can. It's just an advice, but
yeah,
it's
it's
also
an advice.
in the rubric it says that your logo should be effective at large and small scale, in color, in black and white. So the things we talked about is also in the rubric.
Yeah, we would just like to give this to you so you can think about it, so you don't do anything without a reason.
Yeah.
That's why we show you these things.
Burger King has a new logo that looks even more like a burger.
Oh, do they have a new logo?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, I usually don't go to Burger King, so
No, you only eat McDonald's?
no, also not. But
Burger King logo new.
yeah, let's take a look.
Oh
at
yeah,
that.
that's true. It's more like simplistic, and with the real colors of the bun. That's fun.
Oh, that's yeah.
Sorry.
I will. That's actually nice. It looks a bit more classic.
Yeah, I like that. A bit old school.
Yeah, a bit old school. Yeah, maybe that's new. It says Burger King gets new logo with Ode aan Erfgoed. So this is actually their old logo.
Yeah, you can. That's also a trend in logo design,
Yeah.
that they return to their old logo.
Yeah, this is a very great thing, because in our Dutch class I already told them how much I like if companies keep their
Return,
logos for a long time and they don't change it too much. But this is that's a great saying. Yeah, thanks,
I like that.
Annemijn. Love the new logo actually.
Looks
new
very
old
cute.
logo.
It looks very cute.
Yeah, the new old logo. It's much better. Great. Thanks for your input. They actually had this here from 57 to 69. They had
Wow.
this more of an here it is. With the guy.
Yeah, with a lot of details.
Yeah,
as
with a lot
well.
of detail. Home of the Whopper.
Home
Fun.
of the Whopper.
Fun to see. Yeah.
Are there any new questions? No, I don't think so. Hey, not too sure. This approach you here, but I don't have a group for the website part of the assignment as I'm third year. Yeah, so guys, if you are third year students, most of you already sent me an email. Then you only have to do the logo design assignment, because you already made a website in 1.4. So you can check that off the list. So you only need a logo design. And if you have any further questions for the resits, for the third year students, you can just send me an email. So okay, for now, I hope you've enjoyed it. We did. And so every block starts with a live stream like this, with some theory, the explanation of the assignments, and then we continue in the workshops.
Yeah, so we hope to see you there.
Yeah, so bye-bye. Have a good day.